Here come the boys. Y'all ready to go swimming, baby? Come on. Give it up. Get out of that water. I tried telling y'all, it's swim lessons, baby.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Swim Lessons. I'm your host, Dallas Hanson. Don't forget, everybody, Swim Lessons, the podcast, is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like all the videos that we have. We've had a lot of great guests. We got a lot of great future guests. But my guest today is Maleeck Harden Hayes. Maleeck is a professional basketball player and has also had a very interesting path to get to where he is today. He spent time at North Dakota State University playing for the Bison, as well as North Carolina Wilmington, finishing out his college career. Maleeck is now heading overseas to play in Portugal, and I will say this about Maleeck. After talking to him, getting to know him a little bit, and what Lucas Mormon had to say about him, I will make a bet with everybody listening to this podcast that I believe one day Maleeck is going to be a fantastic basketball coach due to what he has overcome in his life when it comes to the game of basketball. And also personally, he's just one of those people that you meet and you go, this kid is destined for greatness. And I don't say that about everybody, but I truly enjoyed speaking with Maleeck, and I think you guys will enjoy the conversation as well. I wish him all the best in the future and the best in the upcoming season in Portugal. But before we get to Maleeck, we got to talk about River's Edge Bar and Grill. They're known for offering the best happy hour in town, providing unbeatable deals in a lively atmosphere. Guests can also enjoy a variety of entertaining activities, including bingo, trivia, and the very popular Name That Tune. Come on down to River's Edge for great drinks, great food, and great fun. Thank you, River's Edge. And then, hey, are you cooking a burger on Saturday night at a family barbecue? Well, I've got the place to get that Angus burger meat. It's called Glosso Angus. Glosso Angus is a proud sponsor of Swim Lessons, the podcast. They are your premier source for registered black Angus cattle since 1973. Glosso Angus showcase dominance, durability, and docility. They are built to thrive on the northern plains. Check them out at Glosso Angus. That's GLASOE Angus.com. And football is almost here. And what better place to watch football than Game Day Media? More than a game. Your leader in live video sports coverage in Northwest North Dakota. At Game Day Media, our goal is to expose, support, and promote the best athletes that North Dakota has to offer. Subscribe to our channel at Game Day Media ND, or find us on Facebook at Game Day Media for schedules, quick links, games, stats, whatever you need to make sure you're following that favorite student athlete. We also make sure you enable your alerts and watch for our upcoming events as we host many. And I'm excited to announce that I'm going to be coming in the booth with Game Day Media. David Peterson just sent me the fall schedule. We've got a lot of great games coming, so make sure you check out Game Day Media. And here's another media here in the great state of North Dakota. That's PSP Network. Nick Holberg. My goodness, the name speaks for itself. They've been promoting local athletes for a long time to make sure you don't forget their names. They are right now tailing off into the baseball and softball season, but football's coming up, so make sure you check out their schedule of events on their website. That's psp.network, or hey, go to their YouTube page, subscribe, and that's at PSP Network. And like I was talking about, Nick Holberg, he does a lot of Class AA stuff, Class A. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it's very professional, and I just appreciate that because not every state has a PSP Network or Game Day Media, so make sure you check them out, especially PSP Network. And last but not least, do you ever wonder where all these high school teams get their great gear, jerseys, whatever it might be? It's called BSN Sports. And since 1972, BSN Sports has helped area sports teams look their best as they strive for their goals and dreams. They provide apparel, uniforms, and equipment for teams in nearly every sport. Local service with a national reach, that is BSN Sports. Contact your local BSN Sports representative for more information. BSN Sports is a proud sponsor of Swim Lessons, the podcast. Thank you to all our sponsors. They made today possible. But now I give you the great and powerful, and hopefully one day future head coach of some basketball team that's going to be very lucky to have him. That is Maleeck Harden Hayes. So, man, good to see you.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you? It's been a long day for you, I bet.
Yeah, I know. It was a good day, though.
Yeah.
Winding down right now. So thank you for the time.
Yeah, man. Appreciate doing this. So take us back a little bit. obviously been around the game of basketball for a long time. How did you develop this love for the game?
It really started as a young kid, just being able to run around, go to random gyms, and just pretty much just throw that basketball into the hoop. I played a lot of sports growing up as a kid. I did soccer, football, track, and everything like that. But I was always going back to that basketball, and it kind of stuck with me. So parents were happy about that for sure. So I was able to just be around the game.
Where'd you go to high school at?
I went to Morehead High.
How was that?
It was good. Actually, I'm from Ames, Iowa as well. So I moved to Morehead when I was about 6th grade. So I was been there since about middle school. And then, went through my 4 years at Morehead High. So it was a great experience for me.
Because your college journey has been a little bit different than regular people. I don't mean any offense by that, but take us, because you got recruited out of high school by North Dakota State, right? How was that process for you?
It was a long process. It was a lot different than pretty much a lot of other people. I feel like for me, I wasn't really highly recruited. First throughout high school, playing AAU, played with Coach Mormon with ECI, and for me, I was just kind of competing as much as I could and kind of getting some interest from a lot of Division IIs, really good schools around the area. I ended up getting an offer from North Dakota State in the summer, and wanted to wait on that offer to see if anything else would come. And I played my whole senior year like not committed, so that was something that was like kind of out of the ordinary. Just playing basketball, going through my senior year, still not knowing like if I'm going to college or like what's the deal. So I'm just out there just trying to put up buckets. But Dave, as well as Kyan, assistant that was over there. Now he's at Omaha, Nebraska. They would come to some of our games for AAU, and just kind of getting a better relationship with that. And so as I went down the process, kind of cutting down schools, I feel like NDCU was the right fit for me. Just being able to stay close. I wanted to stay, in Fargo, Moorhead, be around my family and everything that. And then obviously like the Division I opportunity, as a young kid, you might see that as like your eyes start lining up when you get that Division I interest and everything like that. But for me, it's just felt like the right fit. Wanted to develop under Dave Richmond, so it was good.
What did Coach Mitchell say that made you feel like, okay, this is NDSU, this is the right fit for me? Did he say anything specific, or just he was personable? What was going on?
Yeah, I would say he was pretty personable. I think the main thing was just like the culture of NDSU, like a winning program, does everything the right way. Like you got, some colleges that, really just care about winning, not really developing, their players, not really having that family aspect, because there's a lot of colleges out there. So I think that was the main thing for me, just having a family, next to my family in Moorhead. So it's like, it was just kind of a win-win situation for me.
A home away from home, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
So take us through because what position you played, like a 3-4?
Yeah, 3-4.
Okay. So you go through your first year at NDSU. Did you leave after that, or did you break that down for us?
Yeah. So my freshman year, I didn't play too much. I was actually expected to redshirt my freshman year. That was kind of the game plan that Dave kind of had for me. Then out of nowhere, I got into the game against Kansas State. So that was my first college experience. So that was I wasn't ready for that for sure. Just got into the game at Kansas State. Took a charge though, so Dave was happy about that. And so got some more minutes after that. But I didn't play too much my freshman year. I just wasn't ready. I think I came in about 165 pounds.
No kidding.
So came in really small frame. For me, it's just about competing though, and then really developed into my sophomore year. Pretty much getting more body strength, playing with a lot more confidence. So that was the main thing for me. My sophomore year was a really good year.
Kind of turned a corner a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely got
going to the weight room a lot. Or what was the process? Like?
Coach Miller definitely got me on. He's our weight training coach over there. Definitely got me on the meal. So I guess I wasn't eating enough. But as soon as I started, I started gaining some good weight. So sophomore year was definitely a good turning point for me. Definitely got some more respect from the coaching staff and having more trust out there from my teammates. So overall, that was a great year, my sophomore year. Going to my junior year was a really good year as well. Had a different role. We had some really good players, really developed as well.
Who are some of the players?
Well, Grant Nelson, one of my best friends.
Okay.
Bolden Scumberg's one of my best friends now. So just had some really good young talent. So it's just a lot of of spots, and only a certain amount of minutes. So
right.
My role was a little bit different my junior year, and everything about my junior year it was still good though. Like I was just ready to compete, being a good teammate and everything like that, understanding my fit like that. So I was there at NDSU for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when did you transit? Because what school were you? What school did you finish up at?
North Carolina, Wilmington. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So you went
UNCW.
a ways away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So after your junior year, you kind of know, okay, I'm going to try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Take us through that process, and what was that like?
Yeah, it was a crazy process.
Yeah.
Like the transfer portal is, it could be a scary thing.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of reminded me of what it was like in high school. You're just out there playing. You don't even know, what's going on. So as soon as I think right after the season ended, I think like maybe a week after, I kind of figured out that I wanted to transfer. So I entered my name in the transfer portal, and it's a crazy thing because as soon as you enter your name in the transfer portal, like I guess all the coaches can kind of see. So your phone is buzzing, everyone's chiming in, and it was just a crazy experience. So this is from, a guy that averaged 6 points a game his junior year.
Yeah.
So my phone is still blowing up. So I can't imagine what it was like for some other, like even for my guy Grant, like
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that was like. So that process was, a little scary, but it was also like fun too. You get to, pick and choose where you know, where you want to go.
You're free agent.
Yeah, free agent.
Yeah.
So pick and choose where you want to go. Talk to a whole bunch of coaches, figure out what play style works for you, getting towards the facilities and everything like that. So went through that process for about, I think I was in the portal for about a month. Yeah, I was in the portal for about a month. Took a visit to Kansas City, Missouri. Really liked it there. Who they're in the Summit League as well. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to, go there. So I ended up committing to Kansas City, Missouri. Loved everything about it. And then I had to decommit from Kansas City, Missouri because my coach decided to leave and go to Clemson. So that was a crazy experience for me. That was a lot. Yeah, it was.
How close to the season was it?
It was 2 weeks after I committed to the school. So yeah, it was.
So then you got to start over.
Yeah. So that was the thing. I had to start over, go through the process again, and that's when I'm really like freaking out. I'm like, what is going on?
What's gonna happen here?
Am I gonna play basketball, or like do I gotta hit LinkedIn or whatever? So like I don't know what's going on. But I had to go through that process again, and it was later on throughout the off season. So it's getting to be late April and everything like that. And I wasn't panicking too much, but it was interesting because when I entered the portal the second time, there was more coaches that was contacting me. So I think it was a thing where maybe coaches didn't, find the player they was looking for earlier in the off season. So now maybe coaches are starting to get into panic mode too, like trying to fill out their roster. But it was overall a good experience for me, talking to a whole bunch of new schools, and some of the schools that I didn't really talk to as much started hitting me back up. So now I got a ton of schools I got to pick from, and I got to make sure it's the right decision because last decision my coach ended up leaving to go to a new school. So now I'm really dialed in and trying to figure out what the best thing for me is. So I dwindled it down to a couple schools. I ended up going on a visit to Tennessee State and HBCU. Really liked their vibe. But for me, what I was looking for was something that NDSU had, and that was a good culture. And that was the main thing that I was talking to all the coaches, trying to find a family-like place, So you want to have a family-like business. So I ended up talking to Coach Siddle at UNCW. I talked to the assistant coach, Coach Kanaski, and I found out that Coach Kanaski was actually in contact with the Missouri Kansas City coach, Coach Donlin, because he actually played at UNCW as well. So that was a crazy connection.
Small world.
Yeah, small world. That was kind of my connection to North Carolina, Wilmington. So I ended up going on a visit, to North Carolina, Wilmington, and it was just like a great experience. Like I loved it. As soon as I got there, everything was warm, and the city was super nice, and we're 10 minutes away from the beach. I'm like, okay, all right, the city, everything, like everything to the side, like that's good. So now I got to figure out like basketball, like is this a good fit? And what they're running down, just like my role and what I can bring to the team, being a vet and really playing the game that I would like to play. So that was kind of checked all the boxes for me, and ended up playing there 2 years and had 2 solid years. So
it was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
almost.
It was a blessing in disguise for sure, because I went from not knowing what's going on to like making the best decision of my life. So it's crazy how God works in that way. So it was a crazy experience for sure.
So now when you're done, what's the feeling like? Like what are you up to now? Because obviously, like the game of basketball is a lot. Like you're working with these camps and stuff, and you're still being around the game. But what's it like now?
It's a lot different. Right now, I'm still doing working out myself. I just signed a contract a couple of weeks ago to play in Portugal.
Nice, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep the ball rolling and keep playing until my knees start shaking and stuff like that. So right now, just continue to work on my game, but as well as be an example for others. So decided to come back, be in Moorhead, be around a lot of people, a lot of great people, people in my life that are really important to me. Previous coaches, Coach Mormon, my high school coach, just being those type of people in my life to where I can learn from, but also experience some new things. So doing some coaching, doing some skill development training, things that when I'm done overseas that I can come back to and continue to develop. So right now I'm just wanting to give back and give some of the knowledge that I got out of my 5 years of college to kids, because I didn't really have too much of that when I was really little. So just to have someone in your life just that knows the game and not only knows how to play good basketball, but just be a good person. So that's kind of my goal with a lot of things with these kids.
When you were talking about your time at NDSU, and you're like, it was kind of a weird thing because we brought in some guys and minutes were getting. I think, man, if you ever get into coaching, or obviously you're coaching now, but like if you ever want to do it long term, that's going to be so beneficial to you. And at the time, I'm sure you're like not upset, but you're kind of like, damn, you know,
like what's going on?
Yeah, but like that lesson you learned is going to be huge for you moving down the way. Because if you ever run into a player like yourself, if you're coaching some, that would be, so in a way we're talking about blessings disguised, but man, that could help you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and I'm sure at the time it wasn't like it was kind of, maybe it's a bad lesson learned, but now it's this great lesson and you're able to help kids, and that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely is a good feeling. And then it kind of made me realize, like, even in similar situations that I might not feel like this is the best situation for me, but I'm going to go down the road and learn from it. So yeah, definitely.
You touched on it earlier. Grant Nelson, obviously a big name from North Dakota. What can you tell us about Grant that we don't really know? Like, what's he like off the court? Like, give us a little something.
Yeah, I always talk about Grant because, for some of my teammates at North Carolina Wilmington, it's like, oh, you played with him a couple years? Yeah, the thing about Grant, a lot of people don't realize, like, he's like one of the funniest dudes I know.
Is he?
Yeah, he's definitely quiet, like, like introverted, like when in certain settings, but like when you get to know him, like he's just always like goofing around doing something crazy, and you just like look at him like, this dude's like really like really good. It's like hard to take him serious. So it's just like, I don't know, he's a really funny dude, and I just love being around him. He's such a good guy, and he's going to do some amazing things, Yeah,
man. Well, yeah, that's good to have a guy like that in your corner.
Yeah,
Can't
for
be
sure.
Bad. What do you know about Portugal? I mean, that if we were taught high school, you weren't sure, then college. Now you're going to a different country. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. So I'm going to Madeira, Portugal. It's like a Portuguese island. They call it like the Hawaii of Europe. So I don't know too much about it. I got a little pocketbook, learning some Portuguese phrases, everything like that. Something I can put in my back pocket if I'm walking around to a little cafe or something like that. Start speaking some Portuguese. So got to do some studying on that. But haven't heard too much. I've heard some good things about it. A little iffy about the food. I've heard some good things about the food, some bad things about the food. So. I got to figure that out, but as long as they're feeding me, I'm still gaining some weight. I'm cool with it. But yeah, Portugal seems like an amazing place to play for me. And talking to my agent, like it's a good start to my rookie year. So I'm excited for it.
Being around these camps and being around, you know, some college programs, is there a difference, Maleeck, that you see in the eye of like somebody that's really good rather than somebody who just kind of set on being a bench player? What do you see when you're at these camps? Like, oh, that kid's got it. Like, do you see an it factor in them? Like, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, the term dog kind of gets thrown around, you know, maybe a little more than it should, but like that's kind of like what it is. You know, you can tell when, you know, someone walks in the gym and they want to be there, you know, someone that's not really goofing around too much, but someone that's just focused on building their skill. And this can be somebody that's super talented, or this can be somebody that, you know, hasn't, you know, picked up a basketball or whatever. Like when someone has it and they want to keep working and want to keep getting better, like I think those are the type of people that are going to continue to be successful in life.
Because that's big in basketball. In basketball, it's 5 people that got to play together.
Right.
You got to be like, you know, glued in and keep it rolling. What do you try to do as a teammate to keep that rotation going, keep the ball moving, you know, pick, set, defense, talk? What do you do personally?
I mean, for me, like even my coaches, you know, growing up, just, you know, AAU coach, the high school coach, college coach, they always tell me to be myself, just being loud, bringing energy, defensively. You know, as I became a vet, like pointing things out, offensively, really slowing the game down for, you know, either younger guys, you know, or even for myself. So the main thing is, you know, not to get too, you know, ahead of yourself or get too full of yourself, like staying in the present moment. And that's something that takes some time to really learn as a college athlete.
I was just watching because the Olympics are coming up.
Yeah,
and when this comes out, it'll be next Wednesday. So they'll play a few games, but it's Steph Curry, just the camera on Steph Curry. And dude was talking the whole time.
Right.
Like sometimes I think he was just talking to himself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just blah, 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 you know, this way. And that's like kind of a lost art. Right now, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. Like that talking.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this in our camp. Like you gotta communicate if you want to be, you know, a good player, a good teammate, and that's gonna, you know, make a good team.
Who's your NBA team?
It's the Lakers, but I'm in the process of switching, maybe to the T-Wolves, maybe to the Thunder. I'm not sure yet.
Up on that bandwagon, the T-Wolves, man.
Yeah, I was a T-Wolves fan, you know, back when we had like Alexis Cheved and, you know, some Luke Rittenhauer. Like I was like kind of in there, but, you know, in my heart, I'm a Lakers guy. So
they're in an interesting spot right now.
I don't know. It's been tough.
That's a weird one.
It's been tough since that bubble ring. So, you know, I'll be tuning in, trying to, you know, but LeBron's just, I don't know.
No, you're good.
I don't know. I'm gonna mix the switches. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how the preseason goes.
Anthony Edwards, the best player in the NBA.
He's up there. He's up there. He's probably one of the most exciting right now.
Do you think LeBron's one then?
No. Right now, it's still Jokic. It's still definitely Jokic. How he makes the game so easy. He slows the game down. But right now, Anthony Edwards is, you know, one of the most exciting players, and I think he will get to a point where he's the best player in the world.
What did you think this past year when they gave Jokic the MVP, and then they thought what's the kid's name from Oklahoma City that had a really good year?
Shai Gilgeous.
Yeah, and they thought he should have got it.
Right.
And I was watching TNT because I love that crew on TNT, and Shaq came on right when Jokic got it. He's like, "Listen, you're a great player, but I think they should have went to Shai." And it was like very awkward. Like, what did you think of that?
I don't know. I think Jokic deserved it. You know, Shai's a great player. Like he's an exciting player to watch too. And the Thunder have been really, really good these last couple of years. But just the way Jokic sets up his teammates and just makes everything so simple, and you know how successful they've been the last couple of years. I think it's a thing where they don't want, maybe Shaq doesn't want Jokic to like pass him up or something like that. Like so. The fact that Jokic is, you know, where he's at right now is kind of crazy, and you know, he got a few more good years in front of him still. So
we were just talking about off camera, us three, about fundamentals in the game.
Yeah.
Do you think those are kind of sliding by, and kids aren't really like? Because you look at a guy like Jokic, dude, he's a pivot forward, pivot back. Like he'll pivot 3 or 4 times and then pump fake and go up. Yeah. Do you think that's a little bit of a lost art of the game that's maybe coming back because of guys like Jokic?
Honestly, I hope it's coming back. From what I've seen, you know, I mean, me as a coach, like I'm definitely emphasizing these fundamentals because, you know, if you can't do that, you can't really do too many things on the court. You know, from what I've seen in maybe some AAU games, is, you know, it's not too much of that going on right now. So, you know, hopefully that fundamental side of the game starts coming back. But, you know, in terms of basketball, it's kind of like a free-for-all right now. Like, you know, even in the NBA too, you know, it's kind of a free for all. So hopefully we get these fundamentals back. So,
I agree. Well, hey man, this has been a lot of fun for me to hear about your story, and I wish you the best. I've got you on social media now, but give us a quick plug. Where can people follow you and keep tabs on you when you're in Portugal?
You can follow me on Instagram at leek._, so LEECK._. That's pretty much my main social media right now for Instagram.
So Swim Lessons, a podcast about overcoming tough times. You touched on your journey and you had to overcome some tough times. What's something that you say that you can leave us with when you're trying to overcome that hump, try to get through that wall?
I would say stay in the present moment. Don't look too ahead of yourself, or because you're gonna get too anxious, and don't look at the past of what you didn't do or what you couldn't do at that time. To stay in the present moment, control what you can control, and you'll be okay at the end of the day.
Whew, I like that. You're gonna be a good coach one day, man. I can just feel it.
So.
Yeah, you know the game so well, and just the way your presence is awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I think this journey that you've been on is just going to benefit you so well in the future. And I wish you the best, man.
Yeah,
Keep
most
in touch.
Definitely appreciate it.
All right, that was a wrap. That was great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was good.